What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. Hope everybody's doing well out there on this Thursday. I'm doing pretty good myself, you understand? I've been hearing a lot about this NFL brawl between the teams. You understand? Well, a couple team players. Actually, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Apparently, they're saying that this was all sparked behind a racial slur. You understand? It says here, is now at the center of the infamous NFL brawl. It sparks a fervent response from Mason Rudolph's camp. All right. You know, it's getting to the point to where every time you look up at someone with the NFL, especially with the Colin Kaepernick situation, Jay Z, and all that kind of stuff. I think basically, I'm not really a fan of football. My wife, she loves to watch it. Okay, but I might watch it with her or whatever, a little bit. But other than that, I'm not really a fan of football. I think really, to be honest with you, there's a lot of racism going on behind the scenes, and just every now and again, some of these things may surface. You know, uh, I mean, let's face it. Look how some of the owners act towards the players. They made a big deal about Colin Kaepernick kneeling just because of the racial injustices that's going against our people, with the police or what have you. And all he did was kneel. As far as I'm concerned, I would not kneel. I don't know where he got the idea to kneel, but every time that they would do that, pledge allegiance to the flag, what I would do is just turn my back. I would not pledge no allegiance to no flag. That shit is idolatry in the first place. That's just the way it is. And, coming up when we were children in school, we were made to do it, but we didn't know what was going on. We weren't taught any better. You know, I wish my parents had told, hey, don't you, be, you know, pledging no allegiance to no flags. Because the Father said, thou shalt not bow down and worship any graven image. And that flag is a graven image, you know. But enough said on that. Let's get into this story right here. Okay, Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett sent shockwaves across the sports world when he hit Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph unsuspected head with an NFL helmet. Garrett now saying his actions were in response to a racial slur. I believe him. And I guess this is Garrett right here. And I watched the video, and actually I want to play the video, but it's CSNBC, and it may be copyrighted, so I won't play it. But any of you guys that's interested in it, just put in, NFL Brawl, and it'll pop up, and you can check it out. He clunked him pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And I can just say this. I don't believe that this man just did that for nothing. I don't believe that, he did it just for nothing, just to be doing it. But I digress. According to ESPN, Garrett made the accusations at an appeal hearing on Wednesday. He said Rudolph called him a racial slur just prior to last week's brawl during Thursday night football. The Steelers quarterback strongly denies this claim. However, Mason vehemently denies the report of being accused of using a racial slur during the incident. Thursday night in Cleveland Steelers spokesman Bert Luton explained in a statement he will not discuss this accusation any further, and his focus remains on preparations for Sunday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Rudolph's attorney, Timothy M. Younger, echoed the same sentiments, saying, according to ESPN, in his appeal, Myles Garrett falsely asserted that Mason Rudolph uttered a racial slur toward him prior to swinging a helmet at Mason's uncovered head. In a desperate attempt to mitigate this suspension, this is a lie. The false allegations was never asserted by Garrett in the aftermath of the game, never suggested prior to the hearing, and conspicuously absent in the apology published by the Browns and adopted by Garrett. He continued, the malicious use of this wild and unfounded allegation is an assault on Mason's integrity, which is far worse than the physical assault witnessed on Thursday. This is reckless and shameful. We will have no further comment. Garrett made the accusation at the New York appeal hearing, and it sparked arguments between both sides about whether the allegations was permissible to be used in the appeal at the moment. Appeals Officer James Thrash also questions Garrett about how he might act differently in the future, and Garrett explained that he would not let events escalate the way they did in the future games. Okay, it sounds like they're stifling this brother. If I'm not mistaken, okay, I'm telling you, that's what it seems like to me. This brother's being actually stifled. I just don't see this man right here. I mean, anything's possible. Okay. But I don't really see this man just taking his helmet the way he did and cracking him in his head. You know, they got into it or whatever. Just behind anything. I believe that he actually did call him a racial slur. I just believe it, you know. And actually, they're stifling this situation, okay? See, Myles Garrett, I think, was actually a victim of a racial slur. I believe that. You know, he did all this. Come on, none of that makes a lick of sense. But to continue, reporter Jacina Anderson was one of the first to publicly guess that verbal harm was done on Rudolph's part in order for Garrett to act the way he did. She expressed her thoughts in a tweet that was later deleted. I would bet Myles Garrett will say he heard Mason Rudolph call him something egregious. Never seen Garrett act like that ever. See, that's what I'm saying. And you know, this is my first time actually reading the story. And this is her tweet right here, you know, which we just read, you know. I bet Myles Garrett will say he heard Mason Rudolph call him something egregious. Never seen Garrett act like that ever. A lot of times, you know, and we pretty much can guess exactly what that word was. That racial slur was. Hell, we know. Shit. The NFL announced Garrett's suspension on Friday and said that he would have to meet with the commissioner's office before being reinstated. Randolph hasn't been punished in regards to the fight, but a source told ESPN that he could be fined. Sources also said that Garrett had told some in the Browns organization that he was going to express some sensitive information as part of his appeal. During the hearing, Garrett also reportedly used a precedent-based argument citing the NFL's punishment of former Houston Texan player Antonio Smith, who was suspended in 2013 for one of the regular season games and 2 preseason games for swinging his helmet at former Miami Dolphins player Richie Incognito. Yeah, Incognito. That's his name. Wow. Incognito. Richie Incognito. Yeah. Garrett and the NFLPA started that an indefinite suspension is not permitted under the league's collective bargaining agreement, according to a source. Two other athletes were suspended from the brawl. Steelers center Marquise Pouncey, who was suspended for 3 games for kicking and punching Garrett, and Browns defense tackle Larry Unjugby, Unjugby, something like that, was suspended for 1 game shoving Rudolph. The NFL ruled on Thursday to uphold Garrett's indefinite suspension. A decision on Pouncey appeal was also expected this week. I think these guys, you know what I mean? Well, I'm sure, just to quit football would be like to quit their lifestyle, and they don't want to give that up. But I think they really should. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like to me, with everything that's going on in the NFL, they don't have any rights. And I do believe that this Mason Rudolph, he said some nefarious, like some racial slur. I do, and we can imagine what it was. We know what it was. You know, shit. I'm gonna say this: if someone say, if you can guess the word, you'll get $1,000,000, and you say nigga, guess what? You'll be a millionaire. It's just that simple. That bastard said it. He said it. Shit, I believe he said it. But already, you understand, they're violating Mr. Myles Garrett's rights. You understand? And there's a lot of things he wants to say, but he's being stifled because he wants to hold on to the NFL. But I think the NFL needs to be canceled, man. And if a lot of the black players just go ahead and say, hey, I'm done with this shit. You this, you that. You ain't treating us right or whatever. This is just too much. We walking. You understand? It wouldn't be any more NFL. Let's face it. The brothers they bring the flavor to the game. And that's just all there is to it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this story right here. I'm interested in hearing y'all thoughts and views and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.